I'm going fucking insane here. What the fuck? Alright, everybody. We're almost done. We're almost done with Object Board. One more route to go. The Dorothy route, which is now unlocked because we've unlocked all the other routes. I'm definitely curious to see where this goes. I'm definitely curious to see how this one differs, especially since our partner this time is going to be our roommate.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Our co-ed roommate for some reason. I'm pretty sure the intro explained it, but it's been a while since I've actually paid attention to the intro. So, and it wouldn't be me recording without one of my cats coming in to interrupt. Why do you feel the need to do that? Why do you feel the need to sit in the one spot where you know you'll get attention? It's not like I don't give you attention any other time, baby. It's not like I don't do that. Alright, but without further ado, instead of loading an old save, I guess we're gonna have to start from the beginning. Because I'm guessing that's where the change is gonna occur. So, let us commence with Dorothy, the only other female in this game. Yes, the introduction to the furniture women. Blink of an eye, I was jumped by the furniture heads, each having their own way of poking and prodding my sides. Ooh, it's so good to finally see you. We've been trying to get in contact with you for the longest time. How'd your day go? Did you tell Acevedo to stick it where it hurts yet? Don't forget about me. Yeah, who could forget about you, Chair? You're best girl. How's that for a welcome gift? I told you I wasn't afraid to hit you. What? Why is my eye... Oh, do I hear round two? She turned to face me, and in that moment, my blood froze. Inside the lamp's claw-like tear was a void. No blood, no brains, nothing organic to be found. What? All present in the room let out a chorus of screams. What the fuck, 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 what the fuck? Why are my arms on the floor? I'm human! Oh my god, my face is everywhere! It doesn't even hurt. I'm human. I'm human. No, you're not. What was left of my already dwindling rationality and sanity flew out the window. I collapsed to the floor, using every cell in me to process what in the ever-living hell was going on. When did people start breaking apart like literal furniture? I mean, I thought it was strange how weak and light they were, but this wasn't possible. This wasn't possible, unless... Were you the voices I heard in the hallway before? Glanced at Chair's splintered arm, the wood missing from her head, and back to the beat-up, chairless desk in my room. That was the only explanation. The women in front of me weren't real. This was all a figment of my imagination, and I had just had a fist fight with 3 pieces of my own furniture. But that just opened up a new can of worms. My furniture were talking to me. Does it mean that Dr. Acevedo and the rest of the people I met today weren't real? They were actually pill bottles and guns I spent an entire day talking with? How did I get here then? Was it by an inanimate or a human? What about the judge? Was he responsible? No, he could have been inanimate. Or maybe it was the aliens again. What if they were made up too? Someone, anyone, please explain. Answer me. How much of this is real? Am I an inanimate object? Who else is inanimate? What do I do now? I want to wake up from this nightmare. The world was spinning around me while my headache came back in full force, amplifying my anguish. Ah! I see how it is. Look at him squirm. It's quite amusing. Brushing off the now settling dusk, the furniture women stood up. Why aren't you real? I don't know. Why don't you explain the reason for our creation? He doesn't understand yet. What a pitiful fool. You did this to me. It's all your fault. Says the horrible mutilator. We won't forget what you've done to us either. Don't fret too much, dear sister. You know he'll need us sooner or later. By the way, that was 7 years of bad luck for breaking my face. Goodbye, Manson. Need you? Hey, come back. Blink of an eye, they were gone, leaving only broken wood and glass littering the ground. I shakily gripped the bed frame to pull myself up. Get a hold of yourself, Manson. They're gone. All they wanted to do was mess with your mind. Next to my foot was a large shard, large enough to see my reflection in. That's an object-headed Manson looking straight at me. I crushed it. Now a nervous pillowhead was staring at me from the bed. Yeah. So if she is real, then yeah, she just witnessed the entire thing silently the entire time. I didn't see anything. Hello, Manson? 3 down, 2 to go, 3 down, 1 to go, 3 down, 1 to go. I tackled her, bringing her body dangerous close to the window's ledge. We're 3 stories above the ground, the only thing below is pavement. Pillow gripped the window frame with her life to maintain her balance. Not for long, she would. Well, let's talk it out, Manson. Listen to me. I'm human, and it's wrong to commit murder. I don't believe you. Who are you? Dorothy. I'm Dorothy Smith, your roommate. Have mercy. Why didn't anyone tell me sooner? It was recent. They just changed the plaque outside. Read it if you doubt me. So what are you here for then? Depression and delusions. I know how you feel, Manson, so don't do this. I'm real, just like you. I gritted my teeth, but her soft and frightened voice was getting to me. I felt my grip on her loosening slightly. She definitely wasn't acting like those furniture women, but it could be a trap. Well, this real bolt isn't cut and dry anymore, is it? I have more questions, so keep answering. If you're telling the truth, why is there only one bed? A mistake by the ward? Oh, how convenient. There's only one bed. Why are we roommates when there's only one bed? And with a woman? Are you my pillow and you're fake too? Not at all. Look, there's a pillow on the bed already. It really was a mistake by the ward. You already know this place is in poor condition, and Priscilla's a lousy manager, so we were accidentally roomed. They're gonna fix it soon. I'm your ally here. Who else will believe you? Alright. Yeah, finally we have the choice. She was truly human. I guess I had no choice but to believe her. If she was, again, I'm still not fully convinced that she's real. We'll see. We'll see by the end of the route. I'm still not fully convinced. We'll see. And something tells me that was by design, to have this question of doubt. I reluctantly let go, but first things first. Dorothy stumbled backwards when my fist sunk into her pillow face. Gee, fucking hell, Manson. Ow! What was that for? Did it hurt? Of course it did! Oh, my poor nose. Is it bleeding? I can't tell if it's bleeding. Sorry. Sorry? Just sorry? Manson, you were trying to kill me 5 seconds ago. I'm a fool. An absolute fool. My ears were bright red. I really thought you were a hallucination. I said I was sorry. I see. Next time, please be less rash. I'm human, and I know you're not a murderer. I still had a billion questions to interrogate her with, but all my energy was spent. I'd try again later. I face planted into the itchy mattress just as the door was cracked open by Kent. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm sorry I'm late. As soon as I heard the noises, I came running. Is everything alright? Yep, nothing to see here. He gawked at our scraped limbs. We whistled. Alright then. Dinner is starting in an hour, so come down if you're hungry. He gently shut the door, the footsteps disappearing shortly. You can go on without me. Nah, I'm staying. I don't want any more human interaction for the day. Okay, let me join you in bed then. Good night. Making sure not to bump into me, Dorothy climbed over and slid on the other side of the bed. It wasn't easy to sleep next to her. Dorothy took up plenty of room with her size, so we were back to back with my legs almost falling out the sides. Can't you move over anymore? I'm sorry, I'm just stuffed with fluff. I sighed. If only we had a second bed. Well, today couldn't have been any more bizarre. I almost wish I hadn't experienced something half as absurd in my life, so I could process this. Anyone would have done the same in my shoes, right? I don't know if I'd resort to murder if I saw a hallucinated person in front of me, but, you know, you do you. Yes, they would. I'm always right. Okay, whatever you say, Manson. My mistake. Let me try sorting the problem out again. My furniture, my honest-to-God furniture in my room was alive, yet not alive. They could talk and move, but fell apart like inanimate objects, because they were always inanimate objects. How do I know everyone else in the ward isn't the same way? I squinted at Dorothy, who was blissfully asleep. There's a 50-50 chance the people here are either alive or inanimate. The only way I could tell the difference is by punching and cutting everything in sight. That's a one-way ticket to the padded cell, buddy. Inanimates don't bleed, and any damage taken on their body is reflected upon their heads. That's easy enough to do, but obviously has no repercussions whatsoever. These hallucinations aren't that bad, though. Irritating at most, so there's no reason for the doctors or nurses to throw me in the loony bin. What just happened was only my imagination being a little silly due to the extraterrestrials, but I managed to fend them all off. I wasn't scared, not a bit. I wish people believed me about the aliens, though. Oh, Manson, I love you, but I also want to punch you sometimes. I ran my fingers through my tangled hair again, starting from my scalp to my shoulders. Further consolation to my sanity was the swaying of a familiar brown color at the corner of my eyes. I then moved to touching my facial features. My nose protruded from my skull, my eyebrows wiggled, and my skin retained its softness. Finally, I glanced at my arm slowly scabbing. At least I was bleeding like a human. Everything was still there. I've done this countless times today after seeing my reflection in the remains of the mirror woman, compulsively feeling my face to make sure I wasn't one of them. I don't want to be a rubber duck. There's only one thing I fear most in this world: ducks. The way they waddle, the way they quack. There's always something so sinister about them. One of those rubber toy bastards was attached to my neck. It's not real. It's not real. I need to touch my face again to make sure. She was snoring too hard to ignore. I needed to get out of here, away from all this madness and confinement. Escape, find my real handmade shelter, grab my tinfoil hat, and everything would soon return to normalcy again. I'm already having a miserable time, so there's no reason I'd want to spend a minute longer than I have to. The voices and people couldn't follow me forever, and if they did, I'd fight to the very last breath once I'm more prepared. Come on, Manson, think! You're a clever guy. What's your escape plan? Your escape plans. Yeah, what are you gonna get into this time? I just want to be back on the street again. Being cooped up was never my thing. If I needed to think more about my escape, then I should at least try to sleep as much as I can. I'll recover my energy tomorrow. Cue Bella. Room 309, it's time to wake up. I slithered out of bed and onto the hard floor. Dorothy took my blanket and wrapped herself into a cocoon. I'll leave a bit later, don't worry. Still waking up. Okay. Again, a little too suspicious for my liking, but we'll see. I lacked an appetite for breakfast, so Bella summoned me to Priscilla's office. Just like the head nurse mentioned yesterday, mountains upon mountains of paperwork. My mind was frazzled from all of it, so I scheduled to attend Dr. Acevedo's therapy in the morning and group therapy in the afternoon. Hours upon hours later, I stumbled out of the office groaning. Whoever invented bureaucracy should kiss my butt. When I came back to my room, I found Dorothy waving. How was your day? Tiring. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You didn't go today? I didn't have the energy, sorry. Maybe sometime soon. My group therapy is in the afternoon. Will we share the same one? I think it's mixed sex. Mine is in the morning. Shame. We could have walked together. I slump against the desk, staring at the windows, which were now boarded up. Pretty crappy job at that. I could stick my head through one of the exposed holes. When did this happen? Today. Bella came in, and I told her that the window has always been that way. Thanks. I have no idea how I'd explain it to the nurses. Though, another question. How much did you see yesterday afternoon? Before, you in the window? Dorothy must have been nervous if I'd flip out again, as she was rather tight-lipped. As soon as you entered the bedroom, you started ranting. You were kicking and punching your furniture. I hid under the bed until I thought it was safe to come out. Did you see any other people in the room? Scratch that, the furniture women weren't people. They were all hallucinations all along. I don't mean to be pushy, but maybe you should rest more. You can imagine all sorts of bizarrities when you're tired. As I paced around the room, I wondered about the furniture women returning. They promised, so it was only a matter of when. It should be of utmost importance to find aluminum foil for constructing my hat. It's the most effective protection I wield against those telepathic projections. I couldn't believe the police confiscated mine. Surely this place used tinfoil. It couldn't be that hard. My first ever hat came from a crumpled up sheet found in a dumpster. See, I didn't realize this. It didn't really click with me until I was editing the Randall video. The fact that he found enough tinfoil to make a whole ass hot air balloon out of, but didn't make a hat with, is kind of funny. I groaned. With nothing else I could glean, I joined Dorothy in bed. Day 2 progress. Nothing. At least tomorrow I'll be able to see more of the ward, thanks to group therapy and Acevedo. Something wet was on my face? Oh, oh, that's right. The rain! Those boards did nothing to keep it out. With Dorothy hogging all the bed, I was in the rain's prime target. I hope it doesn't snow anytime soon. And it's the middle of spring. I doubt it. It's the middle of spring in New York, you'll be fine. Midwest, different story. It could snow at any point. Morning came, and as tradition, I was dragged out of bed far earlier than I wanted to. Bella must have noticed that I hadn't bathed since I arrived, and promptly threw me into a freezing shower. Before I even had time to towel off, I was again bounced around, this time to the dreaded therapy with Acevedo. Hair still dripping wet and a scallop on my face, I opened the door to his office. Calming music was playing in the room. In front of me, a familiar bottle-headed doctor was sitting in an armchair. "Good morning, Mr. Moss. How are you?" I opted to ignore him and clapped face first into the couch beside him. Huh, comfier than I expected. "How have you been adjusting here?" "I don't want to talk about it." "We can start small, whatever you're comfortable with." Acevedo straightened his tie and beamed, waiting for me to respond. I did not oblige. "Listen, I can tell you're nervous, so I do apologize if I am a cause. I imagine it has been stressful being placed in a new environment with its own rules and regulations. Even so, I am here to help you, and in return, you need to help me better understand your problem. Communication is essential as part of your therapy." My attention shifted to the large window behind us. I could see the brick arch that led to the exit. It was so close, yet so far. Its visibility was a mockery in and of itself. "I might have rushed into this too quickly, so let us introduce ourselves again. I am Dr. Antonio Acevedo, your psychiatrist. My role is to use a combination of therapy and medication to help patients form better habits, healthier mentalities, and improve your overall well-being. This has been my occupation for 20 or so years. And you are Manson Moss, my patient. Your role is far easier, though it requires work and an open mind. Any question I have, I would like you to answer. Not what you would think would please me, but from the bottom of your heart. We'll discuss said answers, and I'll give advice. By law, anything said between the two of us stays between the two of us, unless you are planning to hurt yourself or others. You can trust me." Okay, fine. He pulled out a clipboard and smiled. "Get along with any patients?" "Yeah, some." "That's wonderful." I lied. "Ah, well, you can't lie about how relaxing the music here is." I don't listen to classical. And thus began our stilted back and forth conversation. Must have blabbed enough because Acevedo prescribed me some pills. Promised it would help with my symptoms, but I didn't trust him. I rapidly lost interest in conversing, so he released me early. When I returned to my room, Dorothy was in bed reading. She patted the bed, awaiting me to sit next to her, but I collapsed to the mattress in frustration. "Welcome back." "You still haven't left?" "Unfortunately, yes. I think I may be coming down with a cold." I stumbled back to avoid her spray. "Why are we even sharing the bed? I don't want to get sick." "I'll sleep on the floor if you'd like, but would you really make a lady do that?" "Probably." She whimpered with non-existent puppy dog eyes until I sighed, allowing her to return to the bed. Days 3 progress. Zilch. So does she literally never leave the room at all? Like, not even to eat? Because, again, I'm seriously wondering how intentional this is, as if we're supposed to be questioning if she's actually real or not. Which, if so, good job, because that does work thematically for this particular story. The next morning at breakfast, Kent gave me my pill. It was an ugly pale and crimson color, like blood on bones. Inside of the capsule was a white powdery substance. Okay, well that's interesting than the other pill. That's different than the other pill, I mean. Acevedo really wanted me to take it? I'm not swallowing that. It could be poison for all I know. When Ken turned around to help another patient, I stuffed it in my pocket. "Did you eat it?" "Yep." He beamed. This man was hilariously gullible. As I poked my soggy breakfast, the nurse again chimed in. "Don't forget, sir, you have group therapy this afternoon. It's daily." Just slit my throat already. Tried as hard as I could to resist, but I was dragged to group therapy. At least Acevedo's therapy was 3 days a week, but why was this daily? At first, Kent welcomed me with open arms and asked me to introduce myself, but after some crude stories about my past, everyone gave me as much personal space as possible. The nurse began prattling on personal growth, or something in that vein, while I closely studied the rainbow vomit-colored room. The tallest man in the room, Jones, was playing with a Rubik's Cube. Something about his happy-go-lucky attitude annoyed me. Look at him, without a care in the world, while I was trapped in this crap joint. Life must be so hard for him. Granted, his body was a marvel to behold, but I doubt anything was in his brain. Yeah, that's what you think, buddy. Every so often, I felt my back pocket to find my pill happily nested there. If it could speak, it would be laughing at me right now. The contraband had to be disposed somewhere. Thought about the trash can, but Kent was too keen for it to slip past. Like a little dog, Dorothy was waiting for me. Oh no. Oh no, is she gonna be the disposal method? How was your day? Miserable. She watched as I opened the desk drawer to drop a pill in. What are you looking at? My doctor gave me mind control medication. There's no good place to dispose of it except my room. I don't think that's a good idea. Nurses cleaned the room. Have a better plan? Want to eat it for me? Her arms crossed into an X shape. No, I believe you. I have my own medication and prefer zero cross-reactive effects. Listen, Acevedo was prescribing you medication for a reason. How about you listen to his advice? You're on his side now? He's probably in cahoots with the ducks and aliens. Is he truly that horrid? I sighed and rubbed my temples. Look, sorry for being nasty. For 4 days, I've been held captive by scissors and bottle-headed monsters. They ripped me from my home and plopped me in an insane asylum, expecting me to be all mushy-gushy with them. I know the staff look down upon freaks like me. How can they just smile? The patients aren't any better. They're like sheep, content but oblivious. I can't devolve into them. I don't want therapy. I don't want any medication. And I especially don't want to be around them. I wiped my face before Dorothy could see any tears. She bobbed her head, listening diligently to every word I rambled. I'm sorry you're dealing with these people. I sat down next to her. Gently, she began rubbing my back. I appreciate your kind gestures, but I won't be around here for much longer. Leaving so soon? How come? Can you keep a secret? With my life. I'm planning on escaping the ward and returning to my base. When I'm out of your hair, you'll have the bed all to yourself. A win-win for both of us. I'll take any plan at this point. You've lived here for a while, right? Give or take a few months, I guess. You must know this place inside and out. How well can you sing? Eh? I haven't sung well enough to really know, but... Ha! Got it. You'll host a concert. The staff had taken many things away from me, but not my creativity. Yeah, creative. That's a way to put it. The lights will dim, the stage will rise, and out you come, riding a white horse. A horse? Where will I get I can see the spectacle, and it is glorious. Everyone will be so mesmerized by your beautiful serenade that they won't notice I escaped. They'll search and search, but I'll be out of this town by nightfall, and you'll go down in history as Lady Dorothy, Valkyrie of the ward. Why all of this? Because it ain't over until the fat lady sings. Manson, you... Oh my gosh, Manson, are you fucking kidding me? Dorothy, look unamused. Yeah, no fucking shit. Crickets chirped outside. Can you please be serious for once? No, the fact that he was serious is the scary part, Dorothy. He was completely serious. Besides, what will happen to me after that? Do you not think I'll be accused of abetting you? Your idea is very selfish. She was right. I was a hopeless idiot. Forget it. Bad joke. If you don't want to help, I'll think of something on my own. But thank you for listening. It's the least I could do. If you need someone to talk to, I'm always here. Well, even if my week was rough, I still had Dorothy to listen to my plight. I wouldn't consider her a friend, but she was better than nothing. Yeah, I like her already. She's adorable. The next few weeks were uneventful. I did my routine of tossing away my awful tasting pills, being grouchy in group therapy, and being bored to death in Acevedo's office. Every time I returned, Dorothy was doing something different. It could be cleaning or reading, but more often than not, napping. Today, however, I found her relaxing and sipping from a little cup. While you were away, I went down to the common room for tea. Want some? Oh, so she does leave. Okay, that's good to know. I stared at her cup. Just what I'd expect from the ward's quality pantries. It looked weak and watery. She wasn't to blame. Nah, I'm not a tea drinker. Your loss. Yeah, and she likes tea. I like her even more. Moved the desk drawer to drop off my pill. Thankfully, Dorothy had kept silent about my medication stashing. Today, Acevedo was giving me a real earful. Don't ask me what it was about. I slept through the majority. Dorothy laughed, and her oversized breasts bounced accordingly. That would be what you would notice. Their sudden movement knocked her cup over, splashing tea all over her sweater and skirt. She yelped. Are you hurt? No, but oh dear, I need to change shirts. Can you turn around, please? I heard the rustling of clothes falling to the floor. Don't look. Okay, maybe one sneak peek. Holy mother of... Her boobs were huge! Wasn't just her chest. Every inch of her, from her muffin top belly to her thick thighs, was rather attractive. I've never been into chubby women. There was something special about her. Most likely it was the gigantic boobs. Yeah, probably, Manson. Do you need any help? I can wipe you off. You idiot, what do you say? You might as well offer to use your hands as a support bra. I averted my gaze, trying to keep the beast inside of me from stirring. Due to another person occupying my bed, I kinda lacked the privacy to treat myself. I appreciate the offer, but I'm almost done. Whoops, the beast was fully stirred. You can turn around now. Did any tea get on you? No, I'm fine. Have you ever noticed how gray the door is? A lovely and fascinating color. I could stare at it all day. Okay, I'll be heading to bed. I hate this stupid broken window trenching me in rain. Turned around to find my face centimeters from Dorothy's. Remembering everything that happened earlier, I had my face bright red. Again, I faced away. Her breasts pressed against me as if I was the little spoon, but my crotch pressed against her as if I was the big spoon. Like a log on water, I kept rolling and rolling, desperate to find a less incriminating position. Can't fall asleep? Oh, I didn't mean to wake you. The rain is driving me bonkers. Would you like to trade spots on the bed? No, because you'll get a cold and sneeze on me again. Then how about you slide over here and rest your head on my lap? Oh, that is the dream. Maybe we should have traded spots. Oh, that is precious. I gulped and relaxed my head against her. Are you comfortable? Your thighs are warm. It feels nice. Glad. I have a lot of love inside my body. Suddenly, she began humming while caressing my hair. Her fingers gingerly worked through my knots and tangles. Again, this is the dream right here, fellas. This is the dream. Beautiful woman, laying head on her lap, running through your hair, humming. Beautiful. Oh, that is the dream. That is the fucking dream right there. My mom used to do this. You want me to stop? No. It's like I was on cloud 9. I could fall asleep in her lap. Are you a mother? You're very good at this. Her rhythmic petting stalled, as if she was carefully debating on what to say next. Was that too weird for me to ask? No, I am not, but I wouldn't mind being one. It's certainly a product of love. I've never been in any romantic relationship either. It's rather lonely being me. Really? Your personality, I'm surprised guys aren't falling for you left and right. How sweet of you, but it is true. I keep to myself often, and because of that, not many approach me. I haven't been one to stand out from the crowd. Dorothy punctuated her last words by twirling my bangs around her finger. Now it was my turn to show off my awkwardness. I never really had a mother or father. I guess Aceveto's the closest thing I have to a parental figure, but he's too overbearing. Kent once called me a vagabond, which isn't entirely false. First time I heard of Clark County was when I was arrested. I'm from the Bronx, did you know? That far away? How did you end up here? Hitch a train if I could, sucked men off for a ride if I couldn't. That period in time is where my memories are fuzzy, but I dropped everything in my life when the aliens appeared, and I do mean everything. It was getting harder to concentrate in school. I couldn't talk or act normally to friends or my parents. It was better for me to run away as far as possible. I couldn't stand what my life was becoming anymore. This is why I despise aliens with all my being. Surely your parents miss you. You're their child. I doubt it. If I dropped dead or became a serial killer, they still wouldn't care. They've always ignored me, neglecting me in that dirty, lonely house. Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't imagine how hard that must have been. At least I'm here for you now. We fell back into silence, unsure of what the other would say next. I heard some fumbling next to me. Dorothy had loosened her grip on my blanket, allowing me to somewhat warm myself. The sky outside remained dark. About traveling. Did you enjoy it? Yes and no. On one hand, I quickly learned what my sexuality was. On the other hand, those men knew I was desperate for money. Sickos. I wrapped myself in the entirety of the blanket. It's not enough for me to apologize for something that happened in the past and is still affecting you, but I would like to offer my condolences. I've never dealt with these kinds of issues, and I wish there was something more I could do. I appreciate your being honest with me, though. Sometimes all we need is a person to lend an ear. Her sappy, near-psychopathic talk was making my eyes roll in my head, but still, it was nice to hear something other than mockery or criticism. I rarely talk about this. It's more fun to embellish stories for the shock factor. I once bit off another homeless man's pinky finger fighting for the last food can. After that, fellow vagrants proclaimed me king of the tramps. Now how much of that do you believe? Are you disturbed yet? I don't know. Is he okay? I wish I knew too. That can expired anyway. I yawned. I never expected to have this kind of pillow talk. You know, honestly, I'm actually shocked, and I never predicted that a pillow talk pun would come up somewhere. that seemed like such low-hanging fruit, but I'm surprised I didn't see it coming. Feels like I had a weight lifted off my shoulders. I'm heading back to bed. Good night, Manson. Finally stopped raining by the time dawn broke. Talking with Dorothy had soothed my spirit, though I wouldn't admit it to anyone. With my mind calm enough, I decided to try escaping again. I sat in the common room, eating my breakfast while devising my plan. The courtyard outside was soggy from last night, too muddy for group therapy, but muddy enough for me to utilize it. I tucked my breakfast spoon into my pocket. The common room hallway connected to the outside courtyard, locked, because of course it was. I spied Randall trudging inside, leaving muddy boot prints. Kent would have his cleaning work cut out for him. I held the door open with my foot. Excuse me, going on my smoke break. Huh? Didn't know patients could smoke. Fucking Randall, dude. I ran across the grass to my destination. A large barbed wire fence was surrounding the perimeter of the courtyard, taller than any tree here. However, my plan was to travel under, not over. My spoon easily sunk into the dirt as I began my tunneling odyssey. This was much harder than what the movies depicted. As I wiped the sweat from my brow, smudging my face with dirt, I caught sight of Dorothy staring from my bedroom window. Crap, she wasn't supposed to see that. I dug faster. The spoon wasn't enough, so I used my fingers to shovel, flinging mud everywhere. Sir, what on earth are you doing? Shoot. Like an ostrich, I buried my upper half further into the hole. You can't see me, you can't see me. Though I was blind in my world of dirt, I bet he was stuck in place, racking his brain for what he should even do. However, pieces of dirt were trying to enter my mouth the longer I remained, and coughing only made things worse. No, I only needed another hour or two. Why now? A muddy bee came out of the hole, gasping for breath and pissed off beyond belief. Still found Kent standing in the same spot. Can we talk for a moment? Everyone in the common room can see you. fine. All right. No, let me be dirty. I'm really sorry about this, but it'll be over faster if you just hold still. Once I'm out of the shower, I'm going straight back to that hole. You're making it colder. Stop. Oh, fucking Manson, dude. I love all the stories overall, don't get me wrong, but I love the first half because that's when you have that cartoony wackiness bullshit. I love it. Dorothy watched me stumble into the bedroom, dripping wet. Dearie. Nothing is fair. Everyone here is awful. I'm gonna be stuck in this hellhole forever. Using all my strength, I ripped the wooden boards from the window. Next, I tore the blanket from the bed and tied it around the window frame. It was the best makeshift rope I could grapple with. I'm escaping if it's the last thing I do. With one foot on the windowsill, I braced the other foot against the outside wall. The wind was beginning to pick up. I looked down. 3 floors below was a sea of concrete, though there was a grass patch I think I could land on. You're gonna hurt yourself from that height. Stop! Hey, you survived. Dorothy pulled me back to the room with a thud. I want to go home. Hey, come here. Shh. You'll be okay. I shoved my face into her bosom. It wasn't to be weird, but she was so nice and warm. Her sweater was getting wet from my hair and tears. Relax, Manson, relax. I admire your tenacity. You're much stronger and resilient compared to me. No, I'm not. I'm pathetic. You're clever enough. You'll think of something. You're clever enough. You'll think of something. Or if you want to bide your time here, that's all fine by me. I've survived this long, and so can you. Put your head on my lap, and I'll take all your troubles away. I obeyed. She was right. Resting my head in her lap melted all my troubles and worries like ice. Yeah, ladies, take note, it really is this simple. I assure you, it is this simple. Let your man just relax his head on your lap, just pet him like a dog. I assure you, any problems he's facing will go away like that. I promise. It was so nice. I could fall asleep. Dorothy was sticking her head out the window, enjoying the spring breeze. Don't you cut your head on the shards. I'll make sure of it. I sat down to join her. What was your life like before the war? It's a long and rather uneventful story that I'd rather not bother you with. I worked in a factory as a seamstress. How'd you end up here? Things happened. I was feeling unfulfilled with life and wanted to see greener pastures, but I nodded my head, listening along. Do you like being at the ward? Don't you want to be free? Of course I want freedom, but I'm a pacifist. I'd rather wait my time out than do anything rash to hurt my chances. Waited quite a while, huh? I haven't told you this, though you may have figured it out by now. I'm plagued by a physical condition called chronic fatigue syndrome. I can barely walk 10 meters before my energy's sapped, and no amount of rest can fully charge my battery. Gotcha. Because I can't exercise, I gained all this weight. My energy is so bad that sometimes my doctor has to visit me in this room. Day in and day out, I'm just stuck. That explains it. That explains why we never see her. Okay. Guilt was creeping through me for asking all these personal questions. But things aren't too horrid. It's safe here, and I do appreciate my roommate's company. I know my way around sewing like the back of my hand. If you fetch me a spool of thread, I can fix your clothes. Dorothy stretched and yawned. Sun's already setting, so I believe I'll tuck in for the night. Can I rest my head on your lap again? I can. This is, Yeah, I feel safe when I'm with you. The woman held my hand gingerly in her own. I know I've been keeping things from you, but I need to tell you something of utmost importance. Please don't hate me for this. Her gaze bored deep into my eyes and even deeper into my soul. Flattening her ears, she backed away as if she saw a ghost. Never mind. Now isn't a good time. Perhaps in the future. What's wrong? Have you ever thought about making other friends? No? Why? It's what my psychiatrist encourages, and I imagine yours as well. It's lovely to talk to you, but it isn't healthy to stay cooped up like me. Don't you have plenty of other patients or staff to be around? Yeah, been there, done that. I have nothing in common with them, no chemistry. I'm just the weirdo who sees object heads. But that doesn't preclude you from finding others in a similar boat. At least give them a chance. Fine, I'll consider it. Someone was loudly humming behind me, interrupting my sandwich time. Nobody does that to me and gets away with it. Turning around, I saw that same hulking man that's always in group therapy with me, Jones. So he's the perpetrator. Stop that, it's annoying. I slouched back into my seat. I wasn't in the mood for this. Dorothy's words of being amiable briefly ran through my mind, but I ignored them. Why was he starting again? Jones nervously hummed faster and was now rocking in his chair. Are you... I'm sorry, just the bluntness of it is just just the bluntness of it is catching me off guard. Are you retarded? Huh? I think it's also because the fact that I think that's the first time that word's ever actually been used in the story, to my knowledge. So I think that's just what makes it even funnier. You heard me. You heard me. Retarded. That idiot is nothing but disruptive to everyone anytime he's around. If he's gonna act like one, then I'm gonna call him out. Holy fuck, okay, Manson woke up and chose violence today. The man stared at me in silence for what felt like a full minute. In return, I frowned and crossed my arms. I said it's annoying. Don't do it again, or retard will be the lightest of what I say. I'm not. Really? Why don't I believe Manson? What the fuck? I don't believe. Jones' chair fell over. He gripped his head, his entire body shaking. Right in that moment, the loudest wail to ever be heard by mankind ran through the common room. I'm not retarded! Don't call me that! Don't call me that! Don't call me that! A face appeared on Jones's originally blank screen. It can only be described as a mixture of rage, hurt, and sorrow. I'm not! He screamed and screamed, repeated slamming his face against the table. The turn furniture cracked. I'm not! Well, geesh, Manson. Okay, I think you fucked up big time. Jones then fell to the ground, his limbs flying in all directions. The other patients scooted backwards, trying not to be in the rage of Jones's tantrum. Yo, where the hell is Kent? Tears gushed out of his eyes and onto the floor. What a child. You're not my mom. You're not my mom. You can't call me that. You can't call me that. You can't call me that. Ouch. There he is. Jeez. Kent ran over to Jones, pulling out a small packet. Inside was a bottle of pills and a syringe. Jones, sweetie, you need to take deep breaths. Oh no, oh no, oh no. What happened? I was called retarded. It's not true. It's not true. Of course you aren't. Who would say that to you? Mama. Can you make him shut up already? Manson, shut the fuck up! Holy shit! The nurse rapidly faced me, not the only one in the room who didn't leave their chair. I stuck out my tongue and bit into my sandwich. He started it! The door slammed, leaving me in the darkness of my room. Holy shit, Manson. I kicked the door. I punched the closet. I pummeled fury on every object that I laid eyes on. Manson, what on earth happened? These fucking imbeciles, that's what. I took your advice and look what happened. That is not what she fucking said, you idiots! Friends. That's all you ever nag me about. That's not true. Why do you stick up for them? Maybe you're an alien too. You pretend to be so sweet just to lower my guard. This is all a great conspiracy to keep Manson locked away forever. Manson, think rationally. Like hell I can. I hate you, I hate Jones, I hate everyone here. I should have shoved you through the window while I still had the chance. My shoe broke through the closet door, sending wood chunks everywhere. I gritted through the pain. She stared at the floor for several seconds before again facing me. As if she was giving a speech, her previously timorous demeanor took on a more mature yet clinical form. You're pent up, aren't you? This hospital has only been exacerbating your stress, and you have This hospital has only been exasperating your stress, and you have been unable to release it because of me. I take full responsibility, and thus it is my duty to manage it. Out of everything she could have said to attempt to console me, this was not on the top of the list. I was beyond speechless. I thought so. Dorothy nodded at my silence and began to undress herself. Okay then. Her sweater dropped to the floor and then her skirt. One by one, she stripped every article of her clothing till she was finally naked. Gray tufts. Oh, gray hair. Okay, that I did not see coming. I really thought she was going to be a brunette. Okay. Gray tufts, the only hair on her body, peeked from her crotch folds. The reddest thing in the room right now was my face. What are you doing? What does it look like? Put your clothes back on. I'm not into you. I'll defensitrate you. I really will. What had gotten into her? For every step I took back, she took one forward. Her giant breasts swayed side to side, no longer constrained by her supportive bra. This was all developing too fast for me to properly process. Whump! I slipped into a stray blanket, landed on my back. She then made her move. Oh boy. Please relax. I'll take good care of you. Okay, yeah, I would simply melt on the spot. Are you feeling any better? I think so. I guess I was all pent up. Sorry for yelling at you. No need to apologize. We may not act like ourselves when stressed. For me, I'll give everyone the silent treatment. Don't worry about Jones. He wasn't worth your time anyway. She placed my hand upon her breasts, ignoring how sticky her chest was. Can you feel my heartbeat? I am real, just like you. Her skin was soft and warm. Though faintly, her heart contracted and pulsated life underneath my palm. Her hands were no different. Bones and muscles tenderly held me, not a slimy tentacle or cold furniture. Feels nice. She averted her gaze while I caressed her. The object heads made me so disillusioned with reality that I doubted everything, including poor Dorothy. The aliens would pay dearly for this. Alright, I'm fully convinced at this point. Alright, you've convinced me, thug. She's real. You've convinced me. Once I was content, I backed away to let her dress. If you ever feel stressed or pent up, don't be ashamed to ask me for help. You're very cute, so I wouldn't mind seeing that blushing face of yours again. Cute? Oh, you're hard again. Pushing her aside, I fled the room. I needed to walk around the hallway to clear my head. Group therapy was humiliatingly awkward the next day. Everyone who was in my therapy block saw what happened with Jones. As soon as the big guy arrived, we made eye contact. He quickly shuffled to his seat, rocking and humming. Well, periodically stopping to gauge my annoyed expression, which made him antsier and rock faster. When Kent walked in, Jones buried his head into the nurse's side. Kent. Hey, what's wrong, sweetie? I don't want to be here, Kent. I see now. How about you have the day off from therapy so you can recharge while I'll deal with you-know-who's schedule? Mm-hmm. Jones took his face off Kent's torso and glanced at me for only a second, yet it felt like an hour. If hatred had an expression, then Jones's screen perfectly illustrated it. Turned my head, trying not to meet his disgusted gaze any further. When I finally mustered the courage to look back, the giant was already pressed against the nurse's upper half. Kent had started to stroke Jones's bored head, trying his best to quell the man's sobs. That idiot is the one who started it. Fuck off, you fucking asshole. Right? I want to say yes, but look at him. I should just sink into the ground and die. Kent. I am deeply disappointed in you, Mr. Moss. Oh boy, here we go with the lecture. I thought you and Jones were friends. You shared group therapy and lunch together. What happened? My response was crossing my arms and frowning in my face. Acevedo looked exasperated. I know you're a good man, but lashing out isn't the way. I want you to think long and hard about what you've done. The Psychiatric Institute was built to help people overcome their struggles and to cement bonds with not only with themselves, but with others. Sorry. Apologize to Jones, not me. I'm not the one you hurt. I continued to ignore him and nod my head until he let me slink away. Jones or Kent did not appear again. Not like they mattered in the grand scheme of things. This time, a different nurse passed me my food and medication. Still the same crummy and lumpy gruel. In addition, my fellow patients were giving me more space than usual. Whatever, at least they weren't bothering me. The only person that dared to sit close was the head nurse, Priscilla. She was filing her nails, keeping a close eye on me. What do you want? You're gonna bore holes in the back of my head if you stare any harder. Just doing my job, hon. Stuck babysitting you. The unspoken rule here is that you don't upset Jones. Now you have first-hand experience of why that is the case. Do not rock the boat, or else you will. Do not rock the boat, or else you won't see the light of day. That afternoon, I found Dorothy reading a book. She caught me peeking over her shoulder and chuckled. The self-help book, a lighter version of what you do at group therapy. I read all kinds of books. They open your mind to countless worlds and I read all kinds of books. They open your mind to countless worlds and knowledge. My favorites are mystery, romance, and especially arts and crafts. I like this girl. Have I made that clear? Have you ever practiced, how do you pronounce it? Origami? I have, actually. Oregano?
What the hell?
No, origami. It's Japanese art involving folding paper into lovely sculptures. Let me show you. She ripped out a sheet from the book. Don't worry, this was a blank page for journaling. Her ears folded in concentration as she bent the paper in all sorts of directions. While simple at first, the paper took on increasingly complex shapes. My eyes sparkled just from thinking about what the final result could be. Ta-da! What do you think? It's a crumpled ball. I poked the side of the amorphous blob. It rolled from my hand and onto the floor. It was supposed to be a crane. I'm still a novice. There's a Japanese legend that if you fold 1,000 cranes, a wish of yours will come true. Hopefully my crumpled ball counts it as one of them. What do you wish for? A little silly of me for thinking this, but world peace. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Her comment was so cheesy I almost went blind from rolling my eyes. Peace, huh? Not if the Soviets nuke us first. What about your wish? Honestly, a warm meal in my stomach, a roof over my head, and a bed that isn't as hard as a brick. But you're here. Very funny. Anywhere else but here would do. Dorothy was nice. Too nice for a place like this. The next day, Priscilla's head was buried in a book. Looked like all the ladies around me enjoyed reading. What's that? It's a murder mystery novel, and then there were none. Oh, great story. What happens in it? Everyone dies, hence the title. Yeah, that is the simple explanation. Wow, you learn something new every day. Is it good? I only read the works of female writers, so abso-frickin-lutely. Oh, so she's sexist. Gotcha. My smoke break is calling me. Watch my stuff, would you? As soon as Priscilla left, I snuck the book under my sweater and shuffled away. Hey, I know you like books, so I brought you one. Dorothy flipped through the pages, squealing. I've been dying to read this one, but never got the chance. I never knew the ward had a library. No, I borrowed it from someone. I don't think she'll mind. While I appreciate the offer, you should return it to the rightful owner. Tapping her feet, the head nurse was already waiting for me. You should ask for taking my stuff, numbnuts. I wasn't planning to lend it to you anyways, but still. Christ, of course you creased the pages and got crumbs in it. Why don't you put that garbage down and pick up a self-help book? I picked your fucked up head. Jeez, your boobs are bigger than your brains. Holy hell, what has gotten into Manson in this route? Oh my gosh. I'm more than a sex object, but you wouldn't know that, would you, sleazebag? She stormed away with her book. Someone else can wrangle the freak. While her back was turned, I flipped her the bird. Someone else can deal with this bitch. Yeah, what the fuck's gotten into him this route? My gosh. The next day, Randall was slouched at the table, keeping a careful eye on me. Let me guess, you're here to babysit me too? I do whatever I'm paid to do. Can I pass you $1 to get off my butt? Nope. $2? This time he didn't respond. I grumbled as much as he was. Maybe Dorothy would enjoy reading his newspaper. Oh, she's adorable. That's so cute. Summer arrived, and what was a better awakening than being smothered by another person as sweaty as you? I opened my eyes to find her body resting on top of me as if I was her personal bed. I tried my best to roll away, only to land on the floor. I slept like crap. I'm well aware. You were tossing and turning all last night. Really? It feels from a nightmare I don't remember. However, my shoulders are killing me. Maybe I'll stay on the floor for the rest of the day. I know a remedy. How's this? Dorothy began to massage my shoulders. Her fingers traveled up and down, honing in on my most sore spots. It was the perfect amount of pressure without me having to instruct. Feels heavenly. Once she worked out all the knots, I rotated my shoulders, giddy at how light I felt. What's sleeping like crap? Can't thank you enough. How about I give you a massage? Remembering how she cared for me, my fingers traveled from her back to her shoulders, then to where neck skin met fabric. Each of her sighs and moans allowed me to work on the tender areas. Her skin looked well taken care of, without an ounce of moles or freckles to be seen. I was curious what her beauty routine was like. Am I touching your ears? Kind of. It feels ticklish. With your pillow head, your ears are so long. They're like a fantastic length for the ultimate wet wilt. Suddenly my head got a smack. Dorothy was cheekily giggling. She used her own head to bonk me. If it's a pillow fight you want, it's a pillow fight you'll get. On guard! I grabbed the pillow from the bed, and while her weapon of choice was still her own head. Come back here. Like rabbits, we hopped and raced around the room. She was asking to be punished. You'll never catch what? She clobbered me right in the kisser. The force caused her to stumble and grip the bed frame. Please don't get a concussion. I'll be fine. As I bounded over the bed, I again tripped over the damn blanket. I landed face up as Dorothy came on top. On all fours, she braced above me. Her breasts were so large they were almost touching my face. Concern was written all over her. Are you hurt? I shook my head. We remained in this position for a while, staring into each other's eyes. I was falling for her badly. Her voice was smooth and sweet like honey. Her disposition was forever calming, and I just wanted to wrap myself up in it. This was exhilarating, but how does your friend hunt? But how goes your friend hunt? Surely you can be with people better than me. Why do you demean yourself like that? It's just, well, I'm a lot of trouble and baggage. I don't want to weigh you down. If I wanted to be with others, I would have already done so. Everyone just got on my nerves. Dorothy wasn't a crybaby like Jones, more attentive than Kent, nicer than Priscilla, and more sociable than Randall. Sometimes I felt like Dorothy was a better therapist than Doc. She understood me far more than he ever could. Would you like to have some more fun? The woman's face was centimeters from mine. I wanted to reach out and... Room 309, it's time to wake up. Ah, darn. Rain check. Rain check. I wanted to scream at the nurse for interrupting. What a menace. Heyo, Manson-o. You miss us? Familiar chipper voice sent a chill down my spine. In a brazen stunt, the furniture women reappeared with a giggle. They were standing in the middle of the room, ignored by all the other patients. How long have you been watching me? For a while. You can't say how long. We still remember the thrashing as if it was yesterday. It was still quite a shocker when my arms fell off. It's never happened to me. Go away. No can do, Buster. We'll stay here when we'll stay when we want to and leave when we want to. We'll stay when we want to and leave when we want to. Then I'll leave them first. I stormed toward my room and opened the door to find the furniture waving. Dorothy was reading on the bed, oblivious. She's a cutie, isn't she? I gritted my teeth. Aw, look at you two lovebirds.
Manson and Dorothy sitting in a tree. Kissing.
Shut up! I can't hear myself think. Unlike their dialogue, mine came aloud. Were you talking to me? No, it was the furniture. They came back. I pointed toward the obnoxious hallucinations, only to find empty air. Dorothy's head tilted in confusion. They're furniture that are actual furniture, if that makes any sense. Except I can't sit on the chair, turn on the lamp, or look into the mirror. They're normally venomous towards doctors and nurses, so I'm sorry that they were harsh towards you. And I'm sorry for whatever I did to upset them. It's not your fault, only the aliens. The furniture said they weren't gonna leave me alone now. When will they appear again? I don't want them to interrupt me while I'm showering or hanging out with you. Seeing my miserable expression, Dorothy squeezed my hand. Oh, what the heck, forget the furniture. How about we explore outside the bedroom? Let's have fun for the night. Will you be okay? I mean, with your condition? With you present, I'll manage. We peeked our head out the door crack until it was safe to sneak out. Ah, this fresh air is exactly what I needed. We deftly dodged any approaching staff by hiding in the shadows or pressing against the walls. Sorry that most of the rooms are locked off. It's one of these times I wish I had a nurse's skeleton key to show you more. Dorothy laughed and laughed, spread her arms wide, bathed in the moon's silver softness. The woman looked absolutely ethereal. And here's where I see my shrink. Or should I say quack, because he's quackier than my duck head. She pressed her head against the window. The couches look comfortable. And you'd be right, much softer than our stupid bed. The common room was locked too, but we were able to see the insides of the medication cabinets. There were dozens upon dozens of them in multitudes of sickening colors. If only I could smash these jars and free everyone from their medication oppression. I'm not sure about that, Manson. Some of these people may need them. Why are you out here this late? Run! Before we could skedaddle, the guard picked us up with each arm, escorting us back to our rooms. He's so strong. Randall groaned at our giggling. I'm not paid enough for this shit. Our butts were tossed into the bedroom floor, though we continued laughing. I had fun. The suspense, the excitement, it was just like my books. We should do it again. If we ever make it to the courtyard, let me show you the hole I dug. If they haven't filled it up by now. Or better yet, once we're free, where's the first place you want to go? The mountains. Winter is my favorite season. Just imagine living in a cozy cabin in Colorado, sipping hot cocoa by the fireplace. I admire that. Can I join you? What about your home base? We can always take a quick detour to pack up my stuff. I've never skied or built a snowman. Snowmen are easy, but you don't own gloves, do you? I'll sew you some after we leave. That sounds delightful. We snuggled and hopped into the bed, our heads full of dreams for the future. Oh boy. I heard voices arguing. They sounded distant and distorted, as if underwater.
And how long can you keep this little white lie going? You're a fool, Dorothy. A fool.
Okay, now you're really fucking with me, Thug. Is she real or not? What, is she real or not? All you're doing is torturing the poor boy.
Us? Torturing? Like what you're doing is any better.
I'm not. Don't accuse me of such horrible thing. I'm warning you. Or what? Poor little Dorothy, stuck in the land of Oz. Whatever shall she do? Dorothy? The woman turned as white as a sheet. Manson, did I wake you up? Please go back to bed. Is he... Okay, either he's dreaming or she's actually a hallucination. What the fuck is going on now? I rolled my eyes and shook my groggy head. Maybe I was mistaken? You can see them too? Dorothy remained quiet for a bit, then nodded. Yes. Remember, I told you I suffered from hallucinations. I'm saddled with so many afflictions, but I'm doing my best to manage them. How? I thought the furniture women haunted only me. These apparitions don't look like furniture to me, as I don't see object heads, just faceless shadows. For how long? As long as I can remember. I shut my eyes, I cover my ears, I tell myself again and again that they aren't real, but they persist no matter what. I know how you feel. Glad that we roomed together, accident or not. Dorothy blushed and twiddled her thumbs. Okay, so, Why do I get the feeling by the end of the route, I'm still gonna be questioning this shit? Why do I still have this feeling? It sounded selfish, but how we shared the same suffering was relieving too. I could rely on her, and she could with me. My heart feeling lighter than ever, I had the greatest night's rest since forever. Something went wrong. Terribly, terribly wrong. I didn't know why, I didn't know how, but more object heads began to appear. I lived here long enough to know that it wasn't an influx of new patients. They were inanimates. In the beginning, they were benign enough for me to ignore. Oh yeah, Acevedo's computer. The first one appeared during Acevedo's therapy.
Idiot, beep boop.
He sat on Acevedo's desk, blowing raspberries at me while I listened to the psychiatrist. The next day, it was during an arts and crafts session for group therapy. I was then doodling an often stick figure of Dorothy.
Hey, you're handsome.
I don't know what caught my eye more, her long legs, her voluptuous curves, or her gaping mouth stopped with the razor-sharp teeth. Yeah! Yes! Alright, yes, she's back.
Why don't you stick something in me? My appetite is quite voracious. Most men can't handle me.
Yeah. Something about her seems screamed seriously bad news. Not interested. The aliens must be increasing their attacks. That explained it. Tinfoil was the cure. Lots of tinfoil. Thank God group therapy had said tinfoil as I stuffed as many sheets as possible in my pockets. A flower crown made of tinfoil? Oh wow, that is a very good flower crown made of tinfoil. Her ears flapped in confusion as I placed the trinket upon her head, like I was coronating a princess. It'll protect you as it always protected me. You are so thoughtful. Thank you. My reward was an old-fashioned but always welcomed hug. Likewise, I put my tinfoil hat on, shaped like a fanciful top hat. Sure. I felt it shimmer and shine, evaporating the alien's evil rays. Perhaps you are better at origami than I am. I'm the best. The day after that, a new person stood in front of us. Such a heavy blanket covering its body, I couldn't tell if it was a man, a woman, or a thing. Where am I? What came out of its mouth was definitely a man's voice. It was a low growl, almost a snarl as he whipped his head around in confusion. Furniture materialized to push Dorothy and I aside. We have a little brother. Yeah, he's so cute. I am not cute. My name is Sylvester, and I demand to know where I am. Aw, did someone wake up on the wrong side of the bed? The three women jumped away as Blanket Boy attempted to bite them. His shark-like teeth indeed looked sharp enough to cut through flesh. 2, 3, 4... Have there always been 4 furniture women? No, that new one was a man. Furniture people? That sounded less catchy. After realizing what a futile effort killing the women was, he turned to face me. So, you're a hallucination too? Based on me talking to you? No. I glanced at the bed sheet now missing. Aw, he was once like us. Look how time flies. How am I supposed to sleep without a blanket? It's fall and I'm getting cold. Turn back to inanimate. Now, now, now! You'll have to say pretty please. Fine. Pretty please with sprinkles on top. Now get back on my bed, Blanket. So rude. I don't feel like it anymore. I'm Sylvester, not a blanket. I'm not gonna give you a name. I refuse for the furniture women too. And we're still resentful over it. Well then, Sylvester, do you see the state of these women? Bandaged bodies, missing limbs, and a lot of grief going around. I did that. So unless you want me to physically tear you apart and throw you in the trash, I suggest you manifest into something that doesn't look human. Besides, I'm invincible. You can't attack me if I'm wearing tinfoil. I pointed to Dorothy's hat and mine. My smirk was as gleaming bright as my tinfoil. The blanket glanced back and forth between the somber furniture woman and me before vanishing. You'll be sorry for this. You too, ladies. The group didn't appear for the rest of the night, so I nervously chuckled and went to bed. Liar. My delusions can't hurt me. Really? I can physically do that? Yep. Did you know that even with no body, you can still speak with him in his head? Outsiders think he's just talking to himself. Therefore, no one will take him seriously? Indeed, little brother. Manson likes to believe he has power over us, but he really doesn't. He's the textbook definition of an idiot. I'm gonna enjoy this. I was immediately woken up by a pair of hands wrapped around my throat and the perpetrator calmly chuckling on top. Oh damn. Come on, let's be friends. Don't make a fuss, and it will be over faster. I tried to kick, but there was a crushing weight on my chest. His toothy grin stretched across his entire head. You're hurting him! Stop it! Stop! Well, no shit I am. It's what the fucker deserves. Look at him struggle. I never asked to be created. Why did you do this to me? It hurt to breathe. It hurt to think. The world was blurring and turning black. I'll gladly bite your dick off, but someone like you might enjoy it. I'm not to be messed with, freak. A flash of white tore across my vision as the pain in my chest dissipated. Dorothy was pulling Sylvester off. Go away! Don't you ever touch him again! I gasped for air like a fish. Sylvester's body vanished into thin air with a chuckle. Nighty-night. Sleep tight. Don't let the blanket bite. You'll never get rid of us, Manson, no matter how hard you try. The only thing that remained of him was an inanimate blanket, fashioned to a tight noose around my neck. The ends were tied to the bed's high bars. Holy fuck. That was an honest-to-God noose. I was so close to... Oh, no. Why that? Why would I kill myself? I don't want to die. Tears poured out of my eyes. A noose. I don't want to... I know you didn't. I tore the blanket noose off me and into shreds. Kept ripping till my fingers were blistering red. Then I stomped on the tattered remains. My body was too anxious to sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, my mind would flash back to the terror. I'll protect you. How? I'll keep you safe. No one can hurt you when I'm around. See, again, the wording is... Her wording is just so... I don't know. Like, she's giving guardian angel vibes. That's the best way I could describe her right now. She's giving guardian angel vibes. Dorothy hugged my shaking mass for the rest of the night. I was too afraid to let go. Room 309, it's time to wake up. My mind was clear and my heart determined. I needed to take my pills again. These will save me. I'll be brought back to reality and the nightmare will be over. Flung open the door of the desk, but found it empty. Nothing on the floor either. Did you do something with my medication? No, I never touch your desk. Why? Is it missing? Not even bothering to shower, I sprinted to the common room for breakfast. Pills. I need my pills now. Hey, watch it, dumbass. Cut in line of several grumbling patients. When the nurse gave me my medication and food, I ran to a free table. My hands shook, bringing the pill closer to my mouth. Manson, what makes you think that will work? That calm, disembodied voice froze my blood. Though his body was crudely stitched together, his grin was ever present. My hands turned white from how hard I was gripping my medicine. I'm gonna take it. I really am, I swear. Oh, really? Felt a pair of eyes staring at the back of my neck. And another, till it felt like the whole room was waiting for me to pop the medicine into my mouth. It never will, and I'll make sure of it. So get rid of your savior. I'll keep on talking until you do. You ruined my body, so I'll ruin your mind. As if proving his point, a jolt of pain surged through my brain. Stop messing with me, you bastard! Okay, that's a good boy. Into the trash it goes. He was gloating and smiling. I didn't want to do this, but I wanted his voice to stop. I'm so glad you didn't put up a fuss. As I promised, bye-bye. Everyone was eating as if nothing had ever happened, blissfully unaware of the terror I was experiencing. If only I could trade spots with them. My eyes tearing up, I rested my head on the table until breakfast was over. Again, the fact this is the route, like, probably outside of Acevedo's, this is the route that's actually focusing on Manson's mental health, like, the most. Again, it's just leading me to wonder if Dorothy is actually real or not. I don't know. I'm going crazy alongside Manson, and I don't know if that's intentional or not. Acevedo's office felt like a tomb. I stared at the ground, wishing the floor would swallow me whole. I can't look at his head. I don't want to look at anyone. Manson, is something wrong? You're very quiet today. Yeah, sorry. Things happened. Would you like to talk about it? Manson, I can't help you if you won't elaborate on the issue. No one would believe me anyway. Okay, you can leave early if you'd like, but please know that my door is always open. Yes, Doc. I collapsed on the floor. All the energy was sucked from my body, curling up in a ball best suited a slug like me. Dorothy joined me on the ground, stroking my back. Are you okay, Manson? What do you think? You were present when Sylvester attacked me. That was out of our control. We wanted him to scare you a little, but not to that extremity. No matter where I go, you and the object heads torment me. Why? What did I ever do to you? Furniture also sat on the floor. Dorothy shielded herself in front of me if they tried anything fishy. Furniture, what do you want from me? Your friendship. I weakly lifted my head. Huh? We saw how lonely and afraid you looked when you first entered the ward and thought he could sure use some cheering up. You keep ignoring us and insulting, and you think we were gonna take it? Not to mention hurting us. We just wanted to be your friends, you know? You need us. And my arms are gone because we tried to help. You're the cruelest friends I've ever met. I know how to solve this. How? A ladies' night tea party. Ladies' afternoon tea party. Just the 5 of us. Tea party sounds delightful. Let all our bygones be bygones as we drink some delicious tea. Why bother? I'm not a lady. No, but Miss Manson is, isn't she? Remembering my old drag name brought out a weary smile. Again, did he ever mention that to her though? Did he ever mention that to her though? That's the question. 5 minutes later. Your hair is so tangled, you need to hold still. My teeth grit harder with every pass through my hair. It felt like my whole scalp was being yanked off. When was the last time you brushed it? I don't know. Ow, ow, ow. Months? Years? Oh dear, there's so much work. There's so much to work with. Not to worry, I'll help. God! That was a nasty knot, but it's free now. We only have a little bit left towards the ends. There better be. Gradually, the brushing hurt less. When Dorothy stood back, I ran my fingers through my hair. All tangles were freed. Now for the makeup. You've worn it before, correct? Yeah, when I'm in drag. How many years of experience do you have with performing? On and off for years. It's tons of fun, especially when all the men give me tips. Oh, I'm applying the lipstick right now, so no more speaking. And now for the final touches. Her necklace was placed around my neck. Upon closer inspection, it wasn't black and white pearls like I previously thought, but plastic beads. Yes, this looks great on you. But it's yours. Not to worry, I'll live. It goes so well with your eyes. Turn around and show the world, Miss Manson. I stood up from my chair, combing back some hair falling in front of my eyes. Whoa. Oh my, you look absolutely beautiful. Really? Yes, really. Mirror, could you come closer to show Manson? Yes, ma'am. I really couldn't see anything on her fractured shards. The colors were so muddled. See? You do. Rosy red lips, curly hair, lovely eyelashes. I could go on and on. Can confirm. Why, you could win a pageant show. I can read the headlines right now. Miss Manson wins New York. Miss Manson wins Miss New York. Don't you see yourself wearing the sash and crown? Couldn't help but blush from her flattering. If she's complimenting me that much, then certainly it must be true. I am gorgeous. Even more than Priscilla. You're right. To test our hypothesis, I looked again into mirror. Crown was on my head. Happily giggling, I touched it. I truly felt it. Great job. You deserved it. I do. Now that I was all dolled up, we sat on the floor with our tableware. When did you prepare all this? When the furniture were busy dressing you. This is my specialty, so don't be spreading my secret recipe. Here's your cup, Miss Manson, and your dessert. Thanks. When I bit into my scone, a dry, papery taste filled my mouth. I immediately reached for my cup and sipped the tea to wash the awful taste down, but the flavor was more watery than Earl Grey. Is something wrong? It tastes kind of funny. That can't be. I spent such a long time setting it all up. Ooh, what did I do wrong? I'm sorry you have to eat my awful cooking. No, don't cry. It's fine, see? Took another bite. It took far too much effort to not cringe from the taste. I meant that I've never had it before and wasn't used to it, but now? Delicious. It's polite to spit it into a napkin, right? Huzzah! Then have another. No, thank you. I feel stuffed. Pretty please, I made them for you. Knowing I couldn't withstand her begging any longer, I bit into a new one. This scone was sweet. Not papery sweet. Not papery sweet. I ate the rest of it in less than a second. Do the scones always taste like that? I don't know what came over me before. Yeah, he's hallucinating everything, isn't he? He's hallucinating everything. Dorothy, are you sure you can't tell us your recipe? You can make a killing selling these. Ooh, I want one. We know you're there, Sylvester. Why don't you join us? Sylvester materialized near the closet, crossing his arms and scowling. Aw, don't be such a wet blanket. Hell no. I don't even have a proper body anymore. We forgot. The blanket gesticulated his arms in what was assumed as giving us the middle fingers. He vanished. Excuse me, I heard you were having a tea party. Do you have room for one more? I stared at my hands. The teapot was no longer itself, but sitting right next to me, conversing with the furniture women. The teapot. The teapot turned into another object head. I bowed my head and shut my eyes. This wasn't real. Sylvester turned into a blanket, so this teapot will too. Good afternoon, it's been so long. Come and find a seat, ma'am. Thank you for inviting me to the party, Manson. I'm having a great time. I didn't invite her at all, but I couldn't say that out loud. What if she and Sylvester weren't cahoots with each other? I couldn't risk it. Oh, don't be a Debbie Downer. She means no harm. The more the merrier. No problem. Enjoy yourself. There's enough tea for everyone. Teapot bent over, allowing the tea to pour out of her spout and into a cup. Her dress looked straight out of the Victorian era, not the 1980s. How did you know her? How did you know her before me? Are you a friend of Dorothy? Okay, I could have phrased that better. Care for another scone, Miss Manson? I'm sorry, is that a reference? Care for another scone, Miss Manson? No thank you, Miss Teapot. Actually, I'd like to be referred to as Noelle. Is that too much trouble, dear? Please. Why, of course, Miss Noelle. Anything for you. You're so kind, dear. I sat in silence, taking in the scene. The furniture women were giggling and conversing with the newly created head, while Dorothy was shifting away. My roommate sensed my discomfort and squeezed my hand. Hey, if Noelle gets a name, we'll rename ourselves, too. No longer will you refer to me as Mirror. That was such a degrading name. I'm Heather. And I'll be Jennifer. Tasha. Yeah, those names fit well. They all sound so lovely. I agree. Yay, more names. Though I was still apprehensive, it was balanced out by how delicious the tea and scones were. My stomach was full and warm. I'll come back another time. She's gone already? Hope I never see her again. Whew, that was a lot of fun. Furniture giggled before crawling closer to me. Now that you've had time to get to know us better, let's play a game. Guess our names, and you'll win some fabulous prizes. You already said them. Though we can't afford a car, weekend vacation to the Bahamas, or anything over $1. Dorothy joined in the laughter. That sounds so cute. Try it, Manson. Now as lead. Me first, me first. So demeaning, so demanding. Fine, take the helm. Well, welcome to Guess My Name, where the goal of the game is to, wait for it, guess my name. You'll have multiple choices, though you better have paid attention to what we said during the tea party, otherwise we'll be mad. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, you already said what your names were. First question, me. The answer is really easy, but take your best guess. We'll cheer you on no matter what. It's actually circled. Chair. That's all you are, a chair. Wow, how did you know? Jennifer is my name, and I sure love to play this game. Okay, that's enough time in the spotlight. Do you remember what my name was? Tasha. Layup, I don't want to play this game anymore. Correct them.
Horrible, Tasha. And you knew it. Objectifying women is so passe.
Okay, yeah, that voice line was a little too low. And the last, but most important, me. How skilled is your critical thinking, Jennifer? Nope, Heather. No, your chair is Jennifer. You're Heather. That's right. That's right, my name is Heather. You're a better listener than I expected. Heather? You were named after a plant. You seem more like a Veronica than a Heather. I'd rather drink drain cleaner than continue this foolish conversation. Win the object permanence, win the furniture's game. That's funny. Wow, you're amazing at this. I'm glad you're treating us with the respect we finally deserve. Yeah, Manson definitely looks like he's enjoying this. Now don't screw up, or else. Yeah. This demented quiz was beyond humiliating, but the furniture laughed and high-fived each other. You should keep the outfit on. Agreed. You don't look half bad, Miss Manson. Miss Manson. Miss Manson. Miss Manson. Even after all this trouble, it felt nice to receive any crumb of praise. Spread my arms wide to soak up all their cheers. Miss Manson, Miss Manson, Miss Manson, Miss Manson. Holy shit. Manson, are you listening? It's Miss Manson. Azevedo sighed and rubbed his temples. Miss Manson, I politely request you to take off that bedsheet this instant. It doesn't even belong to you. It does. I'm Miss New York because I won this year by a landslide. I have my tiara and sash in my room to prove it. What are you even talking about? I'm not playing this silly game. He untied the ribbons, letting my curls fall back into my normal messy hair. A handkerchief from his pocket was passed to me. Makeup off now. He stared at me until I rubbed off all the lipstick and blush. What was his problem? While I usually have no problem with you expressing yourself, explain to me what is going on. I won. I was so caught up in the moment that only now my rationality returned. Behind Azevedo was the computer curiously studying me, and several books who hopped off the shelf to sprout bodies. No, I lost. Sorry for the trouble, Doc. Manson, I will forever be here to help you, but I need you to open up. I won't be angry, because I can see how much pain you're in. From the bottom of my heart, I beg you. In the crowd of object-head masses was the furniture women, happily waving and blowing me kisses. I shut my eyes. I can't. Okay. See, now I'm getting Amari and Versus flashbacks where I am just so... I feel just as insane as our player character. And I mean that in the best way possible. One escape from this torment was by looking out the window. Time passed so quickly from watching the cars drive by and the nearby farmhouses' lights flicker. oblivious to the massive insane asylum looming over. Bella never bothered to reboard the windows, so the room was left to the elements. As always, Dorothy joined me. Can't believe it's autumn already. Likewise, the trees' colors are already so gorgeous. Soon people will be wearing scarves, raking leaves, and carving pumpkins. Yeah, autumn is usually when the roots end, so I'm definitely curious to see where this is going. On cue, a gust of wind blew some red and orange leaves into our faces. We laughed, pulling them off us and tossing them back out the window. Have you ever carved a pumpkin? No, but I'd love to. I'll draw the cutest little face, but you'll have to remove the seeds and goop inside. It's just too gross. You can count on me for the dirty work, but you'll have to sew me a ninja costume in return. Even as a kid, I wanted to be one. Jeez, so many things we said we'll be doing once for free, but it feels like we're never reaching the end. Someday, Manson, keep your chin up. No, I guess I've admitted defeat. Escape isn't worth it anymore. If I must rot here, it'll be by your side. Come on, let's continue window watching. I want to see what pumpkins people are putting up. I was wide awake in bed, ruminating about all the events that had transpired this year. The furniture women were asleep farther in the corner while Dorothy was right next to me. Her arms were open, almost as if she was reaching for a hug. Pulled down my sweatpants just the smallest bit and stuck my hand down. I needed to clear my mind. It's been a while since I jacked off. I was already surrounded by 4 endowed women, so it should be easy enough. Could I get off to them?
Oh, Manson. Please shove your wondrous dick inside my glass-ridden pussy. No, shove your dick inside my splinter-ridden pussy.
Oh, I mean, hey, hole's a hole, bro. Nope, that's disgusting. Ever since I first saw them arguing in my bedroom, they've always given me the heebie-jeebies. The only palatable one was obviously Dorothy. That kind voice, supple breasts, soft skin. She was certainly one of a kind, and my body thought so too. I bit my tongue, tried not to wake her up with my gasping pants. One hand worked my cock while the other inserted fingers inside me. I must figure these feelings out. Do I like her? I don't understand who she is, where she came from, or even how old she is. Though I was conflicted, I've always felt safe and secure around her, but I never knew why. Find a reason, Manson. Shouldn't be that hard. A sudden fantasy of her came into mind, as if dropped in subtly by an angel. I came. It splattered all over my clothes and dripped down to my hands, still buried deep inside me. I held my hand up and stared at the semen covering my palms. Dorothy was blissfully unaware, giggling in her sleep. I love you too. I wiped my hands from burying my face into them. I'm so fucked up. I mean, all things considered, that's on the tame side of the things you've done, Manson. Just saying. I get what he's saying, but at the same time, that's nowhere near the worst. My stomach growled. Couldn't remember the last time I ate. I looked around to find everyone happily eating. Lucky them. Jones finished his plate and ran to turn on the television-headed person. Eventually, a nurse passed me a plate of soggy nuggets and a cup of water. As I reached for a cup, I saw my duck head in my cup's reflection. I was doomed, wasn't I? Everything kept getting worse and worse. I took a deep breath, went for the plate instead. I love the way you touch my meat. Ah! Of course, my plate of food had become human too. It went flying. Even though my water and dinner plate were unusable, I still needed to eat. I scanned the room, ignoring the scowls of my startled table peers. They continued to stare at the flipped table, the shattered remains of the plate-headed man, and their own ruined food on the ground. My searching eventually rewarded me with an interesting red sight. A man with oversized overalls sat quietly at a nearby table holding a half-eaten sandwich. Head, strawberry. Objective, consume it so I don't starve to death. Let's dig in. Holy shit. My teeth sunk straight into the side of the massive head, skin and all. Sweetness of the fruit flooded my mouth, tasting exactly like the ones I shoplifted from groceries. Finally, normal food. Ah, it hurts, 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 hurts. Why was he screaming? The furniture women wailed when they were injured, so it's only reasonable the strawberry would react in self-preservation too, right? Right? My mind's playing pranks on me. I continue to bite into my prey to silence him. It's fine. It's fine. What are you doing? The screaming alerted the surrounding patients, causing the cafeteria to envelop into a panicked uproar. Enraged, I clamped down harder on the strawberry, causing him to thrash and try and push me off. A man with a garbage can for a head tenaciously reached out for my shoulder, but I growled, and my bared teeth barely a centimeter from his fingers. Holy fuck, Manson. Ugh, my meal. The strawberry is just a strawberry, not real like me. It's actually quite delicious, though no one here is getting a bite. Ah! Rapid stomping approached from behind, but I wasn't planning to let go of my lunch anytime soon. As the crowd nervously shuffled and let the noise through, the familiar scent of booze and cologne sent cold sweat coursing down my spine. Uh-oh. Quicker than I could flee or bite my attacker, Randall grabbed me and threw me over his shoulder in a fireman's carry. He stomped away from the chaos, his iron grip preventing my body trying its hardest to wriggle out. Out of my way, folks. He and I need to have a little chat together. Just because he can lift me as if I weigh nothing or owns a gun that could blow off half my face doesn't mean he can do whatever he wants to me. I kicked and pounded his back with my fists, but the security guard refused to flinch. Unhand me, gunman. Do you know how hard it is to find something to eat that doesn't try to offer sexual favors for once? You believe me, don't you? My slutty plate came to light, and I killed him, and instead I ate my quiet fruit who began screaming. I don't understand why everyone is so upset. The hell are you talking about, Manson? Stop making me deal with your shit already. Felt something stab into my thigh. Everything went dark. 20 years ago, that freak's prefrontal lobe would have already been in the dump. Shit like this is why the bodies need to be brought back. Shush. At least Barry Gardens has anterograde amnesia. He can't remember anything from 5 minutes ago. Is that any better? From every day onwards, he'll be waking up, wondering why half his face is mauled. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Oh. It is so difficult to get Manson to take his medication, and now I'll have to increase his dosage. The room was blistering white, whiter than any building I've seen in the ward. I hazily made out two people speaking above me. Where am I? My mouth felt dry as could be. Worse was my headache. I felt like I was just bludgeoned with a baseball bat. I attempted to stand up, but something was restraining me. A tight jacket was wrapping my upper half in place, giving me the most uncomfortable hug ever. He's awake. I'll be talking to the paramedics. Do something about Manson. I coughed up a bit of strawberry onto the floor. Put on the bravest smile I could muster, though it looked more akin to a wince. Hey, Doc. Lovely weather we're having, eh? Manson. Acevedo must have noticed me licking my lips as he unscrewed a water bottle and placed it to my mouth. Once I was adequately hydrated, his tone became softer. I can't move my arms. You're in a straitjacket, which I apologize for. It was to keep you safe. It was exhausting to move and think, so I remained put. Acevedo squatted down in front of me. I just want to know what happened. It was my food. Your skin has been so pale and sickly, worse than the last time I saw you. Are you eating? Bathing? It's been hard to, with what everything looks like. You need to, Manson. This isn't good for your health. I'm worried beyond belief with everything that's been happening the past several months. It's fine. Dorothy says I look great. It's nothing to worry about. Let me guess. Who's Dorothy? Who is Dorothy? You've mentioned her once or twice, but can you please tell me more about her? You don't know? She's been my roommate for a while. I've gotten used to sharing the bed with her, as tiny as it is. I know it sounds weird, but Priscilla accidentally roomed us together. Dorothy Smith and Manson Moss. I didn't understand why his wrapper furrowed. Is she kind? Kindest. And her appearance? Bit embarrassing to say out loud, but beyond beautiful. She has a pillow for her head. Do you have any feelings for her? Manson? Yes. Sorry about the strawberry guy. I thought he was food, but with me being in a padded cell, I was wrong, huh? Again, I truly apologize, but I will have to keep you here longer for monitoring. I'll bring you your food, object head free. It was lonely in that room. No toys, no books, just blistering white on every surface. Besides, the doctor lied about the food. They laughed at me the entire time. I laid on my side, count how many squares made up the padded cell. Fell asleep by the time I reached the hundreds. That night, I heard the door open. Yep. My gosh. Put my head in her lap. I didn't have the arms to grip, but I nuzzled her intently. How are you doing? I need you. Please don't let go. My poor baby, of course I won't. I need you too. When morning came, Dorothy was gone. After being fed some toast, I was marched directly to Aceveto's office. I already know what you're gonna say. Well, yes, we need to discuss what happened the other day, but there's an even more urgent matter at hand. I was waiting until you cleared your head. There is no Dorothy Smith. I rubbed my arms, finally free from my constraints. Manson, I need to talk to you about something important, and for you to respond as truthfully as you can. Do you understand? Sure. I don't know how else to word this, but there are no records of a Dorothy Smith. No roommate has ever been assigned to you either. So, not to be that guy, but I called it a while ago. Several episodes ago. Just saying. What are you talking about? That's impossible. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I asked the other psychiatrists and nurses, but nobody has heard of her. The most recent person named Dorothy that stayed in the ward was 1984. Who was her doctor? She never told me. I assume she didn't want to bother me. But she has gone to one. There has to be another explanation. Did you ever see her leave the room? Dorothy's a fatigue condition. That's why once, at night, when we were the only ones present, the pieces of her mysterious puzzle were fitting all too well. What about leaving for food? The restroom? Aside from you, has anyone else talked to her? My body felt clammy. I gripped my head, which was beginning to throb with pain. You're lying. She promised me she was real. How could she be fake? Then again, don't all hallucinations profess that they're human? May I see Dorothy? We'll have a little chat to clear any misconceptions. My heart was pounding as we strided to the bedroom. When I opened the door, Dorothy had been waiting on the bed, with enough cups of tea for the three of us. We'll talk and embarrass Doc enough for him to apologize. Everything will go back to normal. Oh, and the window's boarded up. The window's boarded up again. Hello? The door creaked, the only noise in the room. No one was in the bed. No, she's always here. Acevedo rubbed my back as we stared at the desolate room. Leave me alone. I need time. Okay, but we urgently need to discuss this when we meet again. You're going to be alright, I promise. Okay, so the most recent Dorothy in the ward was 2 years prior. But it wasn't a Dorothy Smith. Because my first immediate thought afterward was Ghost, which that would be a completely interesting direction to take this. Being alone in this hell was disorienting. There had to be justification for her absence, but nothing made sense. I talked with her, I hugged her, had sex with her, depended on her, and dropped everything to be with her. Dorothy was my world. How could it all have been a mirage? What was the truth? I wailed. My mind was searing with pain, ready to rip in two. I heard a rustling noise. My attention snapped to under the bed where Dorothy was crawling out of. Is he gone? Acevedo's sudden intrusion scared me. What the fuck? Is this hallucination or not? What the fuck? Why were you hiding under the bed? I said, why the fuck were you hiding under the bed? I stormed up to Dorothy, shaking her by the shoulders. I have a ton of questions that need a ton of answers, and I demand them now. It hurts. Please let go. I gripped my head, falling to my knees. Dorothy was standing in front of me with her arms open. I love you, Manson, and I would never do anything to hurt you. You believe me, don't you? I'm going fucking insane here. What the fuck? You know what? Fuck it. No. At this point, I don't fucking believe you, Dorothy. Manson? No. No, I don't. You've lied to me for far too long. Tears fell down my cheeks out of fury and disappointment. A combination of heart-wrenching emotion I could barely even describe. I can't do this anymore. I'm crumbling inside with no support. You're a filthy, disgusting liar. Dorothy took a step back. With every step, I lunged forward. Oh, no. Please don't say that. Liar! Oh, shit. Okay, I didn't expect it to go that far. I gripped her neck and throttled it to prove my suspicions once and for all. Desperately, she grabbed my wrist to push me off her, but I squeezed harder. We tumbled onto the floor. Ah! You're hurting me! You're hurting me! Tearing noise ripped through the room. Blood came gushing out of her. No, it resembled blood, but it was stuffing. Red, crimson stuffing. She was losing it fast. Why? What did I do wrong? Weakly, she looked at the stuffing coming out of her body. All I wanted was to make you happy, Manson. I never meant to deceive you, but my little white lies kept stacking and stacking. She chuckled, and it petered out into a sob. I desperately clung to the idea that I was a real human, even if I couldn't go outside. I hated looking at these walls every day. I wanted to step out and talk to everyone like you did, but deep inside, I knew the truth. Her hand reached out to cut my anguished face, but lacked the strength, collapsing back to the floor. I'm sorry. I'm deeply, truly sorry. Please forgive me. Believe me. I ripped her head off. It was over. I believed her for far too long. All that was left was a ripped-up pillow, no human body, and a large cut-out hole at the bottom, where oh my God, I'm gonna hurl. Felt so disgusted, violated even. I had enough. No more object heads, no more falling for their wiles. I could never look one in the eyes as long as I lived. Never again. Never again. Never again. I fell on my knees, puking up whatever food was left in my stomach. Never again. I believe I found the correct address. Section 8. Even though Manson Moss had been released from Clark County for several weeks now, something was compelling me to visit his new apartment. He was so reticent in our last few sessions. Hardly even acknowledged me. Oh, so we're playing as Acevedo now? He made no more indications that he was seeing object heads, so I thought it would be best to release him. Sure, he'll be glad to see a familiar face after so long. Knocked upon the door, being careful not to touch the spider webs near the doorframe. Scrambling and crashing noises came from inside. Next were multiple sounds of unlocking. Eventually, a disheveled man slowly opened the door, poking his head outside. Purple eyes were darting around as if he was making sure his surroundings were safe. On his head was a tinfoil hat, more elaborate than the last time I saw it. Oh shit. Yes? Manson has always been an eccentric man, so I decided to ignore his appearance. Perhaps I caught him while he was busy. Good afternoon, Manson. I came by to check up on you and bring some housewarming presents, so you'll feel more comfortable. I see. One of my arms was a pillow. Motherfucker. Damn it, Acevedo. It was a pillow with a ribbon on it, and the other was a basket of baked goods. I held out the pillow, smiling, but why was Manson trembling? It took a while to find your address in the phone book. I tried mailing you letters in hopes of a response, but now I'm here in person. Have you been eating well? Sleeping? Not interested. Get that thing away from me. Huh? The seething tone sent cold sweat down my back. It was like he was speaking to a stranger. I've awakened to the truth. All this time I knew you were a hallucination. Just a figment, just a figment trying to lower my guard. See, the pillow reveals all. I had a pillow once. Not anymore. Forget the ducks. The pillows are the true collaborators with the aliens. The pillows were only the initial wave. The first of the 4 plagues and the 10 horsemen of the apocalypse. I live with a stiff, crooked neck from the weight of all my knowledge. He pointed a gnarled finger at me. I did so well to cover my tracks, there's no way you could have found me without being part of the alien FBI. Leave at once, foe! Manson yanked the basket from me and slammed the door, plunging the secluded man into the darkness. Manson? Manson! Talk to me, please. Open the door. Faint muttering and munching came from the apartment inside, but the incoherency was unrelated to my question. I sighed. You know, everyone is worried about you, Manson. Me especially. You've always been a dear patient of mine. This isn't the spunky and funny man I know. It hurts me to see you like this, and I know you're feeling the same way inside. I don't know what went wrong in our sessions for you to end up this way, so let's talk outside together like the good old days, alright? Hello? Hello? The door remained shut. Manson, I can't force you to come out. If you ever need me, you know where I work. Goodbye. With a trembling hand, I laid down the wrapped pillow by the doorstep and trudged away. Ending 18. Material Girl. Okay, well that's definitely one of the more fucked up bad endings. Fuck, I'm going crazy here. Sheesh, I really feel like I'm playing a Marion Versus all over again. Holy shit. Fuck, is she real or not? Is she fucking real or not? I'm going fucking crazy here. Fine, this time let's believe her. It's alright, I believe you. I'm glad. My voice was calm and head clear. I took a shaky step forward. I understand what I truly want now. Her. Just her. She's right. Dorothy's the only one I can believe, trust, and confide in. She's perfect. More than anyone I've ever known. She's my ally, my idol, my goddess. I lunged forward into a bear hug and brought her head to mine to kiss. Dorothy had no lips for me to caress, but I didn't care. I buried my face into her soft one, licking and salivating on whatever was in front of me. When her knees wobbled with emotion, I pushed her down to the floor. From there, I yanked off her underwear and spread her legs apart. My cock was bursting, aching, dying to relieve all this stress. She'd solve my problems, like she's always done. Well, that's one way to go about it. I love you. I want you. I want to be in you. Dorothy hardly reacted to me using her body so roughly, but instead spoke in her usual angelic voice. It's alright, Manson. Go ahead. It's waiting for you. Manson, that's probably not the best thing you should be saying in this context. I'm just gonna point that out there. Please don't say anything like that in this context. I'll be taking my leave now. Do you have to go so soon, little brother? Why should I continue to stick around in an empty shell? Understandable. It'll be quieter from here on out, but I'm curious how his story will end. The gals and I aren't perfect, but we'll be his friends for the rest of it. Heh, friends. I'm no one's friend. First thing that greeted me in the morning was Dorothy's naked breasts and a hand stroking my hair. I'm glad it wasn't a dream. Good morning, Sweet Pea. Did you sleep all right? Yes. Hey, won't be long till the nurse wakes us up. Can you come with me, Dory? I would prefer not to. Then I don't want to leave. I pouted and shoved my face into my bed's pillow. Manson, before you go, could you stop talking to your doctor about me? Why? Because, I don't want to trouble him. There's no need to talk about me, since it's your session. You can tell me all about it afterwards. For me, please? Okay, if it'll make you happy. My days hereafter were rather peaceful. I'd wake up and go to my therapies, respecting Dorothy's wishes not to talk about her. No matter what, I was always smiling and humming in my chair, awaiting my release to cuddle and hug with my girlfriend. How is, Dorothy? Dunno. Honestly, she's doing great. She kissed me on the cheek before I left today. I see. After a lot of debating, I've decided to officially start you on electroconvulsive therapy. I promise it is not as bad as it sounds. It involves light and controlled currents administered to your brain. It should help combat the progressing psychosis of your condition. Zappity zap zap! Acevedo rubbed his arms, unsure of what to say next. After observing me hum and kick my feet around, he finally nodded his head. Let's start today. Can you please follow me? Okay. This won't hurt, but I need you to relax for me. Okay, that's quite a transition. Sweat was glistening on my body. I felt tired, exhausted beyond repair, but enveloped in pleasure. I was like a drunk animal craving that pleasure, but to earn it, I had to keep thrusting. How many times have I... Quite a lot. You're bursting today. Did something happen? Acevedo zapped me. Shame on that shrink. Did it hurt? I think so. It's hard to concentrate. Dorothy squeezed my butt, our gyrating motions bringing us closer to climax. I arched my back into the cry. Poor thing. Let me make you feel better. It's coming out again. Shh, let it all out and into me. I promise I would alleviate all your stress. It felt so nice to have Dorothy's body pressed against me, no matter how sticky she was. I wrapped my arms around her and ejaculated. Good boy. Very, very peaceful days. Wake up, have fun with Dorothy, boring stuff, more boring stuff, then return for lots of Dorothy fun. Oh, Manson, wake up! Look, snowflakes! I rubbed my eyes to find Dorothy pressing her face against the window. Outside, the parking lot was slowly turning white. Hey, it is! The first snowfall of winter. Let's build a snowman soon. That sounds amazing! Oh, it's really piling on the ground and sticking. With the window still unfixed, I was freezing. I rubbed my arms and watched as my breath condensed into little clouds. At least Dorothy was there to keep me warm. Room 309, it's time to wake up. I just fucking realized, is that the reason, like, narratively, why they never say the names? They always go by route number. I know Kent fucking mentioned it in his route, that because, like, there's a constant turnout, so it's just hard to remember everybody. Is that the actual reason from the writer's standpoint? So that way she wouldn't have to say Mr. Moss and Miss Smith. Fucking hell, dude. I bounced out of bed and followed the phone-headed nurse. Snow, snow, snow. Yes, there is snow outside. Come along, sir. I'm taking you to your new therapy group. Snow. To my excitement, group therapy let us play outside. We were all provided mittens and scarves, though many of them were riddled with holes. I picked a mothball off my scarf and licked, but cringed from its bitter taste. I threw it. The light-colored ball instantly vanished amidst the winter wonderland. I dove headfirst into the snow, flailing my limbs around, to poorly form a snow angel. Yoo-hoo! I looked up for my snow angel, trying to locate the source of the voice. 2 stories above, Dorothy was waving by our window. I waved back with a stupid grin on my face. Are you sure you still don't want to join? No thanks, it's too chilly outside. I'm content just watching you. Nah, I could tell she wanted to join, but I continued to humor her. I romped around in the snow and began to form a snowball. With a giggle, I chucked it across the courtyard. Upon impact, it sprouted a human body. It looked a bit dazed, stumbling around and looking down at its new body. Wonder if Dorothy would like the snowball. Sorry about that. I'll be alright, no need to worry about me. Till summer comes. The snowball sunk back into the snow. When therapy ended, I beelined straight for Dorothy. I had a lot of fun today. I'm glad you did. When we leave for the mountains, let's build the best snowman together. I jumped on top of her to warm up and we began to roll around in bed. Today, Dorothy was rubbing her stomach. I swear if she says that she's pregnant, this is gonna be interesting. Manson, I haven't had my period in a while. I believe I may be pregnant. Eh? Isn't that wonderful? You're going to be a father. I sat in shock while Dorothy hummed and rubbed her belly. It was looking rounder than I remembered. Guess this was to be expected with how frequently we were having sex. But wow, I'm a father? Never had a kid before, or ever really interacted with them. What about Manson Jr., asshole? This is a whole new world I'm entering. It's a lot of responsibility, but I can handle it. For us. That's great news. You'll be the perfect mother. Dorothy giggled when I placed my hand on her stomach. When's the baby due? I don't know yet. 5-6 months? Oh, I wonder if it'll be a girl or boy. If she's a girl, Dorothy Jr. We're deciding on names already? Why not? If it's a boy, let's name him Manson Jr. I want him to have a great role model after all. You really think I'd be that great of a dad? Mine wasn't so good. Your parents don't define you, Manson. I've known you long enough to find you reliable, goal-oriented, and most importantly, kind. If you put it that way. Oh, imagine if we'll have twins or triplets. I don't know, that's a lot of diaper changing. One for now, and in the future we can try for 2. More importantly, for having a baby, we should get married. Yes, we're going to be a beautiful family. Let's have the ladies help set up the wedding up. I'm so excited. Did someone say wedding? I will plan and schedule. I'm on decor duty. Surprised you guys aren't jealous that you're not the ones being wed. Please, we care about you, but not that much. We won't get in the way of your happiness. Except for being your bridesmaids. Shame Sylvester isn't here to be the best man and finally get him out of that oversized t-shirt. And it's settled. A wedding it is. Dorothy and I embraced. Oh my freaking goodness. Now I just feel awful. Now I just feel sad just watching him just be so fucking delusional. It was a hectic amount of days preparing everything for the wedding while we kept it all covert. Thankfully, tinfoil had good uses for decoration instead of mere protection. I didn't know how the furniture woman found a tuxedo for me, but I wasn't complaining. Well, I did complain how stuffy the suit was. It's tradition for the groom to wear a suit. Get over it. Ugh, does it have to be so tight? And where did she get a wedding dress? Dorothy appeared in front of me wearing a gorgeous veil and dress. I adored the flower patterns and pearl earrings. We shared the same size. I might have snatched the outfit for myself. Meanwhile, the lamp had adorned priest robes. Behind her were the bridesmaid mirror and chair, throwing petals in the hair. Excuse, that is Heather and Jennifer, thank you. Yeah, that's Tasha, Heather, and Jennifer, thank you. Though we were originally in a tiny room, it transformed into a glistening church before my very eyes. I normally didn't believe in a higher power, but this was for her.
I always cry at weddings.
This is your first one, idiot. But yeah, I think I'm gonna bawl too. Dorothy finally reached the aisle where Tasha was happily waiting with the Bible. I couldn't believe that this woman, who I only knew for less than a year, would finally become my wife. For the finishing touch, I placed a ring upon her finger, crafted out of the finest piece of tinfoil. Tasha cleared her throat, attempting to put on the deepest and most masculine voice she could muster. Do you, Manson Moss, take Dorothy to be your lawfully wedded wife? I do. And do you, Dorothy Smith, take him to be your lawfully wedded husband? I do. Then you may kiss the bride. We leaned forward. Rather than fabric and stuffing, I felt... Is she real or not? Felt soft lips pressing against mine, real human lips. Is she real or not? Okay, well, what does she look like at least? Oh. Oh, wow. I opened my eyes to find a beautiful woman with sparkling magenta eyes. White hair flowed down her back, almost as long as the veil. Her eyes, they were almost the same shade as mine. I know, isn't it fantastic? Woohoo! You did it! Oh. I think that's confirmation then. I think that's confirmation that, yeah, she's definitely not real. Because if the furniture women have non-object heads, then I think that's confirmation. Before me stood three familiar women. Their heads were no longer furniture. Yeah, Jenny. Jenny, you have a little problem here, Jenny. You got a little problem here, Jenny. Before me stood three familiar women. Their heads were no longer furniture. I cringed from how damaged their face appears, but they still look so happy for us. Never realized how great you three looked. Jennifer, did you get a haircut? Only one eye from the former chair was able to widen and look around. Eh? How did you know? You can see our faces? Yep. You all, look quite interesting. Who do you think looks the best? Me, obviously. That's why Manson married me. The nightmare is over! Dorothy tossed the bouquet in the air. The former lamphead ripped off her stole to begin to join the clashing women. The bouquet is mine! No, it's mine. I caught it. What, with your mouth? How did you... Hey, using your feet doesn't count. Give it to me. Jennifer was determined not to let go of her prize. Soon enough, two bruised women were groaning on the floor while she walked away with the flowers clenched between her teeth. Oh, she does look beautiful, though. Real or not, she does look beautiful. We should tell everyone the good news. Are you sure? Why not? It's a special occasion. Shouldn't people know of the newlywed couple, especially when you're about to have our child? Dorothy's been hiding in our room for so long that you could consider her a hermit. Let's get her some more of that fresh air. Let the ward know of our marriage. The Manson is a husband and a father. I'm going to amaze Acevedo. No, I want to shout it to the world. Don't you want to consummate the marriage first? Or perhaps an extended honeymoon? They can wait. It's fine. I grabbed Dorothy's hand and ran out the door. Here we go. I'm so excited. Hey everyone, I just got married. Several heads peeked from doors while those walking down the hall stopped to gawk. Just look at that. Their heads are still objects. I knew they were fake. This is just sad. This is just sad. I grinned smugly at the revealed truth. What? Are you joking? That's your wife? The hell? Why are they laughing at me? Stop. What's going on here? Upon seeing us, Priscilla joined in the laughter. She slapped her knee at the ridiculousness. You're just jealous. Hon, I ain't jealous of a pillow lover. Did you fuck her? Did she feel amazing? How many times? Oh, you're pathetic. I almost regret walking out on your babysitting. Hey, where are you going? I just want to talk. This ain't right, you know. You're not married, Manson. No, seriously, I'm done laughing. Get rid of it. No, fake people can't tell me what to do. You're as fake as your tits. Come on, Dorothy. Other people will appreciate you. I ran off with my wife and bumped straight into Acevedo. But a shame he also retained his pill bottle head. Ay, Dios mío, Manson, what have you gotten yourself into? I did it. I found true love, Doc. She loves me more than anyone here will. Isn't that right, Dorothy? Hello, Dr. Acevedo. Manson's told me a lot about you. Found him. Priscilla stomped around the hallway, accompanied by a different nurse carrying a pointy needle. Give the pill to me, Manson. Don't you see how gross it is? It's covered in makeup, stuffing following out, and your jizz. It's the nastiest biohazard in this side of New York. Stop running away. I'll sedate you if you don't. I've really had enough of your antics these past few months. Never. Dorothy, tell them that you're real. You have our child. Acevedo stared at me pitifully. Everything we professed fell on deaf ears. Why does no one believe me? You do, don't you, Doc? Doc? Manson, can you give me the pillow, please? I'm not mad. People were crowding around me, making me hug Dorothy as tightly as I could. I'll protect her. No one can take her or her love away from me. The world was against Dorothy, then I was against the world. Again, this is just sad. This is just sad and depressing. Oh my gosh, why is this the final route? I mean, I guess there's the friendship route, but why? This is just sad. Let's escape for her, I suppose. The wife. The baby. We couldn't both get out of this. I'm sorry about this. Huh? Picked her up. Everyone stared, especially the chucked Dorothy. Then I chucked her. She went hurtling and screaming through the air, right into Aceveto's face. What the? Ah! Get it off me! I'll come back for you. I'll save you, Dorothy, don't worry. I sprinted straight out the door and ran for as far as I could. Past the parking lot, into the street, through the fields, and kept on going out of town. Finally, I ended up in an unfamiliar city, panting. I'm in so much trouble right now. Where was I? Move it! Nobody liked me standing in the middle of the sidewalk. I was roughly shoved aside by a larger man. Go get hit by a truck! I grumbled and made more of an effort to dodge incoming people, but all it did was make my anger burn even brighter. Any small object in my way was kicked and stomped on, including a soda can. I punted it with all my strength and it flew into a wall. I'm not feeling any better with this. I'd do anything for a drink right now. Fuck! Fuck, 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 fuck! All I could do was scream out the F-bomb and every other curses I had under my belt. Snow was all around me, blinding me with whiteness. It was cold, far too cold. I can't feel my fingers. Fuck! What is going on? I entered a fast food restaurant. It was crowded with people, and the food and the furniture coming to life. Better than freezing outside. Sir, are you going to order? Get a bagel. You need the energy. No, coffee. As black as possible. Do they make cheese pizzas here? I don't have any money. The pitcher shook its head and tapped its feet. Can't serve you. If you're gonna loiter, then we ask that you leave. Why don't you pickpocket? Can't think with all these voices shouting around me. Shut up! Shut up! It's too loud. Sir? Fine, alright, jeez. Out of my way, you damn yuppie. I pushed the figure out of the way and stomped outside. Whatever, I'll sleep at a dumpster or something. Good going, Manson. Shut up. Though some days were better than others, what never changed was how cold and hungry I felt. I was so pampered and fed well at the ward that I was like a domesticated dog being released into the wild. Smoking a cigarette, I walked past the TV store, where a microphone-headed forecaster was reading the weather. Looks like it's gonna be in the negatives this weekend, folks, so be sure to bundle up. I'd recommend for all parents to buy their children socks and scarves, since Christmas is just around the corner. You're right, Mr. Announcer. I need to warm up. All I have is a thin sweater and sweatpants. Right on cue, a gust of wind blew snow right into my face. Where are you, Dorothy? I miss you. So lonely when you're not here. It was getting cold. Real cold. Everything hurt. My home base was nowhere to be found, and I was too exhausted to construct a new one. I found myself in an alleyway, rubbing my hands together for any semblance of heat, until I collapsed. The world was going blurry. I guess this was the end. It was pathetic, but I deserved it. Before I closed my eyes, a flash of light appeared before me, distinct enough for the snow. Hey, stay with me. Dorothy? Is that really you? Manson! There were no words to describe my relief. Upon seeing my beloved wife, my legs lost all control. I fell to the ground, my hands gripping the pavement. Dorothy ran towards me and pressed her forehead against mine. Sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry I left you. As I kneeled, the softness of Dorothy's embrace broke the dam holding back my tears. It's alright. I forgive you. Really? Of course. I said I'll always be there for you, remember? I'm alright. The baby's alright. Thank you. I ran my hands through Dorothy's long, silky hair. How could anyone think she wasn't real? The whole world but me denied her existence, and so be it. I don't care anymore. She makes me happy, and nothing can ever separate us again. After an eternity of silence, the exhaustion began to sink in. Dorothy sensed it and tightened her hug. Let's go to sleep. Sorry there's no bed for us. Perfectly fine. Good night, Manson. Good night, Dorothy. I love you. I love you too. Even though our surroundings were cold and dark, I was warm. My eyes closed as I drifted into the longest sleep I ever had. Manson's body was found a day later, clinging to a moldy and ripped up pillow. Coroner stated it was a combination of malnutrition and hypothermia. No family interested in claiming the remains, he was simply cremated. The ward carried on like normal. Flesh for fantasy. Breaks my heart from what an awful way you went. Time and time again I told you to make friends, and all those times you rejected that. I believe a new path is opened, one with a happier ending. But how will you make friends with your mess of a schedule? Go fix it. Please, for my sake. I love you, Manson. What the fuck? Thug. Why? Why would you do this to me? I thought we had something special, Thug. Why would you do this to me? Why? Why? Why would you make the final unlockable character route so fucking insane and depressing? Why would you do this to me? Fucking hell. Okay. In the words of JonTron, I just wanted to have fun, and all that happened was I got sad. That's what happened. That's what fucking happened. That is the Dorothy route in a nutshell. I just wanted to have fun. I just wanted to experience a beautiful story, another beautiful character-driven story with a beautiful, pudgy, plus-size woman who was motherly and beautiful, and instead, you broke my fucking heart. Why would you do this to me? Why? What did I do to deserve this? Why? Okay, but jokes aside, this really was a good route, okay? This really was a good route. Again, I am proud of myself for figuring this out, figuring out the twist before it happened. I am proud of myself for figuring it out several entries ahead of time. It was executed well. And again, now with hindsight and official confirmation, I can think back on things like the room number thing, where it's just like, oh, I see, you know? So, but again, like, that is good writing on your part, Thug. That is good writing on your part, that the pieces were there to figure it all out. Like, that is good writing. Because again, like, it was the things like, you never saw Dorothy out... Oh, excuse me. You never saw Dorothy outside of the intro. The fact that nobody knew who she was. The fact that, yeah, she just Yeah, the fact that she survived a 3-story fall. Yeah, so just little things like that. Little things like that just like got me thinking like, well, now hold on, you know? Just so that was good foreshadowing on your part, okay? I don't despite my behavior, that is the takeaway I want you to get. This was a good story, and again, very on par for what I normally expect from Thug. Again, this has like Amare and Versus written all over it, or even Pumpkin Eater, but more so Amare. But yeah, so this is very much the sort of shit I expected from Thug, and yet I didn't, because it's so out of place for this particular game. But as Dorothy said, we're not fully done yet. We still have the friendship route, and I guess that has to do with our schedule. So I'm guessing we're gonna have to start over, start a new game, and go with that schedule. But that'll have to be for another time. I need to finish this fucking bottle to comprehend everything that just happened. But that'll do it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Up next, after that, we'll do the friendship route and possibly go through all the endings in that episode as well, depending on the length. But okay, I need a nap. I need a nap. Okay, so that'll do it for me. Thank you for watching. Leave a like. Be sure to comment what you enjoyed, and subscribe so you have the next episode ready. And whatever. Fuck, I can't even think properly. Remember to stay awesome. If nothing else, remember that. Remember to stay awesome. Catch you later. Fuck.